Then the author defends the fact that this book is not a ripoff of Wales Folktale and should not... Havel. Hang on, you want to do dinner? Let's get Havel dinner, so I'll shut up. Definitely a cut. And I just put it in my mouth, and now it tastes like tuna. Definitely not a ripoff of Wales Folktale. Then the author defends the fact that this book is definitely not a ripoff of Wales Folktales. Wales Folktales. Wales Folktales. So we're introduced to our main character, Tyrion, who spends most of his days... who wants to spend most of his days smithing fine blades, but instead spends them red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red. Like the whole world feels about the size of a Walmart supercenter. And it makes me question the history of anything. It makes me question what the history of anything like this is like that thing. What? It's freed with the help of an evil witch's niece, who wants to... Anyhow, she helps him escape along the way, rescuing a... But when dealing with fantasy, you're free to... well, fantasize. But asking to... guided by the plot rather than guiding it. And ironically, because it's a bit of an insane move. But the book is full of weirdness and conveniences from time to time. So I suppose that one could almost liken it to a... Well, the ending is a bit insane. The book is full of weirdness and... The book really could have done with a bit more fleshing out and some more world building. And while it was certainly not bad, and overall I enjoyed it. I do think it makes... What? I do... Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright, cool. I actually like that we don't focus too much on that aspect of the world, though, because that's not even addressed. Sometimes hitting your world building too hard can actually be better than spelling it all out. Buying a slave who used to be a superhero before she was tortured and mutilated beyond recognition. And ends up accidentally buying a slave that used to be a superhero before she was tortured and mutilated beyond all recognition. It's pretty vague, to be honest. However, most of this dislike of the MC is not helped when... I don't know how it's pronounced. Anyhow, he collects made me wince and shudder a touch, which is really a shame because the idea of the superhealer... So, as we continue on, Felix buys more people, which increases the power. The idea of using superpowers of super beings to run a... Oh my gosh, I have to get something out of my eye. Apparently could have carried the book because 50 Shades of Grey is out. No. The weird Wattpack... The ideas are interesting, but an idea alone does not a plot and characters make. And those are two, honestly... But frankly, the insanely unbalanced nature of their relationship with Felix... given the insane... feeling like a very disturbing male-dominant fantasy piece. And I've already... Felix's powers get frankly insane to the point that he can bring other people back from the dead rather casually. Casually. My personal score is 2 out of 10. The mechanics are actually pretty interesting, and there's not much like the overlying male-dominant factor to this, and it exists no matter what the author wants us to think it doesn't. Testing 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Sure, the actual dragon itself could do a bit... Anyhow, they agree to sneak into a human city to visit Rosa's cousin and get a map to the Himalayan mountains, and be careful not to get spotted. Anyhow, Ben helps Sora get the map that they need, and while they are doing a bunch of that, humans... And we're shown that the evil, quote-unquote, dragon is evil, and that he wants to hunt down all the dragons like he used to. Scientists quite rightly try and figure out what the fuck they captured to save one... And it turns out that Ben is the reincarnation of an ancient dragon rider. So, and strange people everywhere mourn it. And then